Hello and a very warm welcome to our second episode of our Samsic podcast series. As mentioned in the first podcast, across the series we'll be talking to a number of experts and professionals from Samsic who have had first-hand experience in their specific topic. Today's host is me, Andrew Bryan, Samsic's ESGT Director, and the topic we are discussing today is recruitment and retention in the facilities management sector. So today's goal is to provide you, the listener, with valuable insights on recruitment and retention. We aim to offer practical advice, best practices to help managers effectively overcome any recruitment challenges they may face. So to kick off our second episode, I'm thrilled to have this guest on. He has been a pivotal figure in our recruitment and retention evolution since Samsic joined, which has already led to a HR Brilliance Award for the HR team. And today, he'll be sharing his experiences and insights on this critical topic. I've had the absolute pleasure of working closely with today's guest as we both joined the board at the same time. And over the past 5-6 years, we've shared a closely linked journey of personal development. Today's expert is our very own HR Director, Andrew Sofopoco Jr. Welcome, Andrew. How are you today?
Thank you, Andrew. I'm good, thank you. And yourself?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, brilliant.
Good,
Great to
good.
have you on board.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on our second podcast. It's really appreciated.
No worries.
I know you're super busy.
Always.
Brilliant. So without further ado, let's delve into our podcast conversation. So I was just thinking about if you using your experience and insight, what in your opinion is the biggest challenges currently faced by managers, particularly in like cleaning and security services?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. In the last couple of years or so, it has been a candidate market where candidates had the opportunity to choose where they go. But that's now changing. It's now become an employer-driven market. However, there are still challenges for employers to get the right candidates in. The difficulty you do have is when it comes to candidates, they're looking at what is good for them, what can benefit them during the company. But some of the challenges that we do have is that candidates are looking for that job security. They're looking for a salary that matches the cost of living. They're looking for a career development. And the challenges are some organizations don't advertise that. They don't promote that within their business. So it gets a challenge when they're doing their recruitment and when they're advertising, those candidates are not looking at their companies because they're not showing what is expected for them to want to join their business.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. That kind of makes a lot of sense there. So I'm a manager, I'm recruiting somebody. What kind of common mistakes do you see across like management structures when they're trying to recruit or even retain new employees?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest thing is the career development. Candidates and employees now, they're looking at that career progression. They're looking where can they be in the next 5, 10, 15 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially from the facility industry, they don't see it as being a place where they can get that career journey, that career pathway of developing themselves. Because cleaning and security are seen a job that, you just stay and become a cleaner operative or a security officer. But that is not the case. And what organizations should be doing is promoting that they do grow within. Yeah. If you do join your business, there's opportunity to grow and develop, become a senior manager or even potentially a managing director at some point. Yeah. The journey is loads. You can do loads of things with a business, but it's all about those talented people wanting to come to that business and willing to learn and develop within their role.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree anymore. It's a really good response. Yeah, thank you for that. So if we kind of look at innovative recruitment strategies, what's some creative recruitment strategies that managers can use to attract that top talent that we're so vying for in the market? And also, just on a separate element, really, I suppose, it's almost a second question within one question, is how can you explain that importance of the partnerships with local communities and that focus on that social impact to bring in local staff or local employees into the market?
Yeah, that's very important and a very good question. I'll talk about the local communities first, because that is a very interesting one. Within our organisation, we do a lot of recruitment from within, and also our own people going out there and speaking to their family and friends. We do look at having a refer a friend scheme that focuses on actually getting people to go and look at friends and family to say, actually, it'd be great to come and join our business. And also it's benefit for the employee, because if they do have that employee that comes in and they get, like you say, someone that stays within the probation period gets a potential of money, it's a good way of actually getting people in.
It's been pretty popular as well.
Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. We've had a vast amount of people join our business through that family and friend scheme. But when you look at local communities, we have managers that are part of church groups, or a football team or a rugby team or any type of teams, and they actually go and speak to those people and say, "Oh, I've got jobs in my company. Well, why don't you come and join us?"
Yes,
you know.
Yeah.
So
that little semi-community out there that we're trying to tap into, we're already members of.
Yeah.
People are in that kind of social interaction of, actually, I know a friend of a friend who wants to come and work, who needs to be recruited or is looking for a job, and then we kind of automatically, organic connection is there as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sorry, what's the first question again?
So it's all almost like how we engage with local communities.
Yeah.
And I think we've kind of that we encourage all of our managers to go out into their kind of groups and communities and social interaction parties to kind of use that recruitment. So that's a really good element. But also, what are the kind of methods? I'm a manager. What advertising platforms are out there? And is there anything that's been particularly successful for Samsic over the last couple of years?
Yes, the use of recruitment platforms is great, because we do utilise a system called Go Hire that enables us to recruit on their platform to a range of different recruitment websites. So the likes of like Indeed, Caterer.
Yes.
So that literally helps us expand our candidate pool by the fact that we're able to use that platform to gain new people.
Yeah.
And the thing that's interesting about these recruitment platforms is now the use of AI.
Yes.
So they're able to
dreaded AI.
yeah. But AI has become so important in the world right now, and it's always going to be important moving forward. And the use of AI, you can now use AI to screen CVs. Which limits the time of managers looking for CVs. You kind of identify the key areas of certain roles that you need, and they're able to check that the AI will be able to pull out all the correct CVs to match that. And I think that's what organisations are doing moving forward, is the use of AI and using recruitment platforms. It's all good using one platform, but it limits the amount of candidates. But having a platform that able to expand to other different recruitment platforms just benefits organisations in general.
Yeah, I think having that AI option is almost like having your own internal recruitment agent. You literally can use AI to do that. Maybe I'd imagine years ago you get a vast amount of CVs and you have to read them and thumb them through and kind of interact with them, and you're like, oh, that's not quite a suitable candidate. We can use AI, set the parameters, process it through AI, and then that whittles that 100 people down to 5 or 6, which a recruitment agent would probably do for us as well. So yeah, absolutely critical starting to use that AI for us as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. And with the use of AI also, when it comes to the bit about advertising, AI is now being able to look at other organisations, how they advertise, and be able to help you advertise the right way to get the right candidates coming through. Because like I said, when it comes to different generations and different expectations, the way you advertise is going to benefit someone going through and say, actually, I want to look at this job instead of saying, no, this ad is the same as the other one. Yes. So it's actually making you organisation of choice, which is the use of having those platforms and the AI in place.
Yeah. I think as an employee as well, having one platform is pretty limited.
Yeah.
So if I want a job and I've got 7 or 8 platforms and they're linking into a website, I want to come and work for Samsic. If we were only using one portal, if I don't log on to that portal, then I'm not aware of anything going on.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have a vast array of a deck of agencies that way I can kind of link into humanly as well.
Yeah, of course.
So that's brilliant. Thank you for that. And that kind of links in seamlessly with looking at the other aspect of retention and kind of best practices to adopt. So kind of using your years of experience and kind of in your opinion, really, what's the most common reasons people leave roles? And And as an employee or as a business, how can we kind of address those sorts of issues?
Yes, so the usual is always about the salaries, because it's very competitive out there. So people do move based on salaries. But one of the things that we have noticed is that career pathway, is that opportunity to grow. People leave organisations because they want to develop and grow. So within our organisation, we are looking at putting together career pathways for individuals that join us to know that they may start as a clean operative or security officer or even work within head office, but they have an opportunity to grow within that business. The one thing that's been essential within Samsic is that we do love to grow from within.
Yes.
We have a range of...
Five examples here.
Exactly. But we've had a range of people that have started as a clean operative and become a regional manager, a divisional manager. And that is what our business is all about. It's all about that nurturing and growing people. So I think especially for candidates, for people to retain, is that learning development that is essential. But when we look at the cost of living, I'll go back to the salary piece. People do looking at changing. And for us, we've introduced a number of benefits, like we've got our wage stream that enables our employees to take a percentage of their money on a weekly basis, and that has proved to be a benefit to our staff, and a number of our staff have been utilising that. And we also have My Samsic Rewards. That is our platform that enables our staff to be able to get discounts for shopping, holidays, and that has been successful as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think it's important that as organisations, they do look at supporting their staff more. Having that employee engagement is essential. Understanding your employees is even more essential, and giving that support to be able to tell them, actually, by working in your organisation, you're going to be looked after and supported. So there's no reason for you to go and move elsewhere.
And I think that as an employee, having that effective employee engagement program, I want to stay with the company. And if you kind of compare to other companies who probably haven't got something as positive, because that all of those like Samsic Rewards, etc., when I've travelled around and see the sites, everyone raves about it. Everyone's who's been engaged with it is like so positive about it.
Yes, of course.
It's almost like passing that message on. Great, that's fantastic. Tell all of your colleagues, tell everybody else. But as a person coming into the business, it's like, oh wow, that's I've never had that before. Any other company.
Of course.
Like that. So yeah, it's a really good kind of point to make. That is, yeah. Thank you very much for that. That's really good. So kind of looking at like quick hires, instant quick hires. How can like the businesses balance the need for those sorts of quick hires, and also keep that importance on still maintaining that right cultural fit as well? And kind of what recruitment trends do you think are going to shape the future for us?
Yeah, so doing all those quick hires does happen occasionally because organisations need people to come in. But the challenges with quick hires is sometimes you just recruit for the sake of recruiting that person without actually identifying if that's the right person in the right place doing the right job. And so organisations, they have to ensure that they still keep their culture of how they recruit, having that ethos to ensure that when they're recruiting, though it may be a quick hire, the processes are still the same. The people that are coming in understand what they're coming into. Don't overpromise. If the organisation is the organisation, that's what it is. Because some of the challenges that you do have is organisations do overpromise at times, and they come in and be like, "Oh, this is not what I came in for." But it's interesting. Is when it comes to the trends, like I said, I do believe it's now more of a employer market. Driven market, but the challenges you have is you're going to have to adapt to understand what the people's needs are. That's what is going to keep them going and keep them moving forward, because people's needs are different. It's a different generation coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes,
they have a different view of work.
Yes,
they're all about the work-life balance, what benefits they get, what career opportunities, and I think organisations need to continue developing themselves to be able to adapt to that, because organisations, we always have to adapt, and we have to adapt to our surroundings, and I think it's going to be essential for organisations to understand that.
Yeah, I think that cultural, that generational, that everything into that mix of a pot, as well as someone I only need for short term or a quick fix hire, it's super difficult by maintaining and making sure that they still bring in the right individual based on all of that criteria.
Yes, of course.
Looking back to the AI, you can build the AI to help us find the right individual as well. So, yeah, I think that cultural transformation piece we've been working on fits in absolutely perfect with our recruitment and retention.
Yeah, 100%. Because the biggest thing for people is the culture. They want to know what the culture of the business is, and you have to live and breathe by it, you know. And sometimes it is a challenge because the organisation grows and grows, but it's essential that you keep your ethos and everyone has that identity. One of the biggest things I do say when I've done inductions in the past is people that come in are ambassadors. So when they go outside and they go and people see them, everyone should be the same in the way of they live, breathe Samsic. So when people see you, when you go to one site and you go to another site, we're all speaking the same. We all perform the same. It's all at a high standard, and you know, and everyone's going through the same journey. So it's essential when it comes to recruitment is identifying the right people, but also helping those people understand where the business wants to go to, not just from a financial perspective, but from a working environment, from a culture. And I think that helps a business grow.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also last bit on that one really is, what kind of advice would you give to like managers who are struggling to fill these absolutely critical roles? What's the kind of, in your opinion and your kind of expertise, I'm a manager, what advice would you give me to help me fill it or kind of fill those roles in the future?
I would say use your support network. Go and speak to other managers within the business that are working well with recruitment, also liaise with HR, but utilize the platforms that you do have within your business, or identify new platforms that can help with recruitment. Within our business, we've got the likes of Go Hire, but we've got managers that are very good at recruitment. They understand how to recruit. They understand how to identify the right people or the right places to recruit. So be able to speak to those individuals is important. But for an organisation, they have to ensure that they continue doing training.
Yes, yeah.
Train the managers how to recruit, how to interview, improve those interview skills, and also improve those recruitment skills. Because recruitment is challenging. It's not easy. It's not. But if you have the right processes and procedures in place, managers should be fine in the sense of recruitment.
I think we've probably got over Samsic. There's quite a few people who've had lots of hires and lots of recruitment experience, to other junior employees or new people in the business as well who not really experienced it, have got little knowledge or awareness of recruitment, that we need to kind of pull down on that top experience to the new people coming up or the new employees, transforming their career development as well by giving those absolutely critical gems of advice and the training, as you say, as well, to give them the confidence so it's not as nervous, or it gives them the tools to kind of benefit their successful recruitment strategy as well.
Of course, and when it comes to recruitment's a journey, and is the fact that be able to learn and develop and do recruitment is going to be essential. Like the use of the LMS, our learner management system, has been essential in putting courses in place to enable managers to be able to develop and learn how to recruit, and also having external recruitment support also helps, because gaining experience from our external recruitment, be able to show people how to identify where's the right place to put ads, how to promote your business or the job role, to ensure that people understand what to do and getting the right talent into the business.
Maximising that effort by using different platforms, and then going back to the AI again.
Yeah.
The wider that net is spread, and using all our social communities as well, even like social media, the wider that net spread, the better chance we've got in getting that right candidate and bringing them into the business, and future developments, etc., all linking to that original training and, like you said, the LMS as well for recruitment as well. That's brilliant. Yeah, thank you for that. So kind of as we wrap up today's podcast, it's gone pretty quick to be fair.
Yeah.
So what kind of key takeaways for overcoming recruitment and retention challenges, and what's your kind of one piece of advice you would give our listeners out there to future-proof their workforce?
I would say that they should understand the current workforce and the current people that are out there and what the expectation is. But I think it's essential that they start putting career pathways in place for employees and potential employees. You have a lot of talented workforce, and you'll love to recruit from within. But you also need to look at the people that are out there, because people from the other organisation could bring new stuff into your business, which you probably weren't doing before, but new ideas, new equipment, new processes. So it's essential that they take that on board. But like I said, AI is coming in, and I'm sure from the recruitment perspective, it's going to be pivotal. So organisations still need to understand how AI could be beneficial for them, and utilise that as best as possible.
Yeah, brilliant. So thank you, Andrew. And I'm sure our listeners thoroughly enjoyed your valuable insight and expertise in today's podcast on our topic today of retention and recruitment. However, just before you leave, I always ask all of our podcasts a random question.
Yeah.
Something that are kind of trying to spread out across all of our podcast series. So who has been the most influential person in your career? Could be anyone, professional, personal life, that you would feel comfortable in sharing with us.
It's been you, mate.
Let's just end it there.
I would say I've been able to work with loads of different people throughout my career. I've been in HR for 15 years. I know I don't.
You thought you know what you're doing by now.
Yeah, no, honestly. But I had a HR director in my previous role, and she helped me develop and grow and understand HR as much as I possibly could, and I learned how to develop and understand people better, and also in the sense of managing a team. So yeah, it's been my previous HR director.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No worries.
So yeah, thanks for sharing that for us. Once again, thank you very much
Thank you.
for joining us, Andrew. And to our listeners, thank you again for tuning in. We hope you found today's discussion as enlightening as I have. And if you enjoyed the podcast, please share, subscribe, sign up, spread the word, and stay tuned in for our next episode where we'll be talking to another Samsic expert. So until next time, take care, stay safe, keep striving for that excellence in your management journey. Thank you for listening. I've been Andrew Bryan. Thank you and goodbye.